What's the deal, gang? What's the deal? Alright, what's going on, everybody? We're back. We are back. How is everybody doing? Let's see. Well, see, we're in a scuba suit. No way, Jose. I'm doing alright. Weather cleared up for you? Yeah, right. My whole backyard was under, like, I'm lucky my house is lifted, but the whole backyard, you can't see the pool. Like, the water is about 10 inches above the pool. I got 2 trees that fell in the backyard. Not the mango tree. The mango tree's still standing, but I got 2 trees that fell in the yard. The pool. The pool, yo, my pool is Wesley Snipes color. That shit look like Michael Blackson right now. I don't know. But yeah, it's not the reason I wasn't here. I had a family emergency and I spent the last couple of days just dealing with some family stuff. I just wasn't at the computer. I had my laptop with me. I was doing signals off a laptop from, like, well, it doesn't matter from where. But hold on a second. bought some lobsters and crabs, and you know how you get them from the store, the fucking the claws are rubber band up, so my kids are running around playing with them like they're fucking action figures. Like, I brought a lobster, put it on top of a fucking tower, and they're like, hey, watch this. So now he's a dragon, and he's supposed to shoot fire. I'm like, he's gonna fucking get your ass if you keep playing with him. But for now, I have a lobster that identifies as a dragon. And then there's two crabs that are supposed to be his evil brothers. So they're running around with the crabs and lobsters. Was it like a year into trading for you? A lot of losses. Hey, let's do a little breakdown. Where you been the last 2 days? I had a family emergency. I had something happen in the family, and it's just, yeah, something I don't wish on nobody. But yeah, we're here. We're back. Life goes on, right? Let's see what we got going on. The daily's closed massively bearish. Current daily opened up no top wick, and there's some range to come down. Let's see what our levels are. Range to come down, I mean to fill the wick. If we are going to come down, I think we want to see a closure below that area. 2297.84, and we formed a resistance here. It's actually been here, but we're kind of respecting it. So if we continue respecting resistance, right, if we print bearish at a resistance on a bearish day, we're going to look to continue and fill the range down, but we want to spring off a resistance to come down, right? So what do we know? Gold retests highs and lows and finishes ranges. So if you see, it's kind of created, right? It's created a low here, right? It's created a resistance. Now we want it to fill the range, but on the smaller time frame, it's come up here, right? And typically, what does it do? It retests highs and lows. It's come up here, so I would look for it to retap this high, retest it on a smaller time frame, while on the higher time frame, bringing us down to here. Okay. That's what I would look for initially. So if we can get this hourly to close bearish here, right, and respect this area across the board, then maybe we can look for a top wick towards this area and continue down. This is our advantage point, so if we can see this is roughly 22, 23 pips of range. Can we get a top wick here and then a flip down? Kind of interesting here because the 30's closing bullish. This level might be a bit lower. It might look like this. Let's see. And I don't mind this closing bullish. This is a really weak, right, bullish 30 candle in relation to the fact that we've just come down, bouncing off 2304. If we can come up here in 3 minutes with a top wick before grabbing any of this area, right, any of that area, then we can probably look for sells on a flip after we get a tap of this area, or maybe this area right here across the board. Okay, that area, and then we'll look put a flip down to finish the range. You figure if you're gonna continue, if you're gonna head down, you're gonna head down. But if you're gonna head up and re-break the daily high, all right, in order for you to actually start driving up, you're most likely gonna need to come back down and bounce off a support, something along the lines of what happened here previously. You see how you've come down here below this area, and for you to go up, yeah, you could try to go up, but eventually it'll come back down because you're going to need to bounce off of something in order to have it drive up. So that's what I will look for. I will look for some sells to come down, because even if we are gonna go up, we're gonna need to grab orders down here. Let's go. We got less than 2 minutes here for this hourly closure. Let's see what we can do. The daily's also closed massively bearish. You'd expect the daily wick fill today. So let's pay attention. The previous candle didn't have much of a bottom wick, but now we also have this. If we look at this, you can use this as confluence, right? You have a level here. Let's see if you can actually respect it, close below it. Actually have levels everywhere here, over here too, across the board. But it's not that I would disregard them. I would just say that, oh, you got a minute left. We might even close below these levels too. I would just say that the more recent level, the more recent range that has formed is here. And since you're on your way down after rejecting here, breaking down into this range, right? I'd say if you are able to grab orders and flip, you'll likely fill the range down here. This is interesting. This gets a little messy, but it's all right. It's all right. Even if we brought it up to where we initially looked at it, I think it's holding it. Closed up above this area. Let's see how steep this top wick is. If it gets to 2303 at the very least here, we will have a sell stop. Okay, gang, I'm gonna have a sell stop here on the break of the lows. And this might take you to the 4-hour flip here, right? To the daily flip to come up. Then I think if we re-break the low, right, and that hourly, that's pretty much the re-break of the low. The re-break would be here. We're gonna come down and make a steeper bottom wick. And it's also for this first 5. This first 5 closes bullish here. I'm gonna have to delete that and wait to get another bearish 5, or for us to re-break the highs and then flip bearish. It's gotta flip now and come down. And you also see the little motion pattern playing out here, right? Holding this area. Tap that resistance, close back in range, grab orders at this area again. Now if you flip, I would expect this to be your advantage point. Now if you don't flip and you're getting a bullish closure, then obviously there wasn't enough, I guess, enough orders at this area to push it down, and then we have to reevaluate. See you back? Yeah. How was it? Yeah, I had a family emergency, sorry. For, for 2 days. I also, yo, good shit for everybody in the clubhouse. I heard you guys smacked yesterday. You guys, chat, clubhouse caught a 100 pip banger yesterday. I have no idea what it is, but that's what I heard. Who called it out? Was that Javier? Was that Javier's trade? Good shit, bro. Yeah, chat, go join the clubhouse. I wasn't here yesterday, but they still fucking ate. I think they were in the voice channel. Okay, I'm gonna delete the sell stops here because this 5's closing bullish here, and I don't want the next 5 to come down and grab a bottom wick and ride up. Clubhouse voice channel in our Discord, in the Clubhouse Discord. Yeah, I was off, but the guys know how to trade. Like they know what the fuck they're talking about. So go in there. Ask them. Not everybody, they don't trade like me. It's just everybody does their own thing and they're pretty knowledgeable at what they do, I figure. So go join up. Yeah, the 5 closed bullish here. Did it close bullish respecting? Yeah. Well, I could see this dropping. If it drops here right now and breaks the previous 5, it wouldn't be in the manner that we want it to happen. See a new 5 opening up, and like I know this looks lovely for us to flip and come down, and it might, and I'll be okay with missing it. The issue for me is the current 5. Now if this 5 is able to print bearish and close, and then the next 5 top wick and comes down, maybe we can look for entries. But for now, as far as this, as long as this keeps coming down on this 5, I expect it to be a bottom wick, especially since we never broke the top wick of the previous 5 here right now. Right? So get rid of this, no sell stop here. Not anymore. Yo, who's ready for tomorrow? Who is ready for tomorrow? Oh, I'm excited. I am literally excited. What's tomorrow? What do you mean? The Victoria's Secret Wix 9 collection drops tomorrow. Yo, you better go follow. Man. You better go get your girl that Wix 9. That Wix 9 inches. That's the new product. It's a Victoria's Secret Wix 9 collab. For men? Yeah. For men's girls. Driving Speedos? Nah. Thongs only. Thongs only. They call me nothing but lace. There you go. Tom got it. The Euro starts tomorrow. Tom. Good shit, bro. You starting the stream on what's going on here? Nothing. We're talking about Victoria's Secret by Wix 9 collab. But yeah, the Euro starts tomorrow. Who's playing the first game? Is it Germany? I think Germany's got the opening game. Ukraine playing? Yeah, Ukraine made it. Germany, Scotland, they're opening up. But Ukraine playing on Monday, I know that. They only got one decent team in their group. Ukraine, they only got to worry about Belgium. That's about it. The other two teams are what, like Slovenia or somebody, and like some other shit. The Germans, yeah? Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Scheiße. I don't know, but this is like the next month is going to be so interesting. Oh shit, we got a bearish closure here. 30 and the 1 and the 5 close bearish. I will have a sell stop here on the break of the low. Once again. Right, I'm gonna try it again. Previous 15 closed bearish. This previous 5 closed bearish like we wanted. We've grabbed the top wick. We've got the motion in effect, right? We've tapped these areas to the left. 15 closing here in 3 minutes. This could get interesting. Almost in. I'll tell you once we're in. And there we go. We are in the trade here. Okay. Enter the position. So obviously won't be stops. Start coming up. It'll be a pretty early closure, but I'm looking to fill the range and grab a steeper bottom wick on the daily before coming up. That is the goal. Let me see where the destination should be overall. Yep, right here. At 4-hour level. And I'm activated here. We got the top wick we wanted. It did everything we've asked for, right? And our advantage point here was roughly 15, 19 pips. You need to check RNBRU adverts for Scotland versus Germany. What do you mean? What you mean? Can you explain why you take the position based on what? Well, we explained it right before we entered it, right? Based on how the previous hourly closed, based on the fact that there's about 19 to 20 pips of range here for the advantage point, and based on the fact that, remember we said we want that top wick here to this area to create sort of the motion for you. And if you're not sure what the motion is, it's just got to be here for a little while. And we're playing on the fact that we expect this to come down and fill this area to the left to 2300. That's the expectation here. Oof, that's a 15 leg candle. But we've grabbed these orders on the 30. So I'm expecting this to come down a bit. That's tough. That's a tough candle on the 15. Yeah, you got a leg candle on the 15, but the 30 is still open. So we made that high, and then we've come down and we broke the previous 30 low. Right? We aren't really tapped the 30 support here. So expectation is that we will do so. We shouldn't break this current candle high. We start breaking this high, if it starts happening in this candle, then we will look to manage risk. After grabbing these orders, the market shouldn't come back to that high again. We should technically start heading down, but we will see. What's across here? What did it tap? Okay. What's your entry? Missed it. That was the flip of the hourly candle here, but we were expecting a flip and a continued drive down. Not expecting a hold here. How long we have for the 30? Another 10 minutes. Yeah. Daily didn't grab a steeper bottom wick, did it? Oh yeah, it did. It rebroke the low. So I don't know. Don't know. You were expecting a steeper bottom wick overall on the daily. We're expecting price to come down here and tap at the very least 2300 before going, before going up or before continuing down. And I wasn't expecting a re-break of the highs on that 30. Oh, I can't catch a break for the last 2 weeks. It's been wild. What we gonna do? You're tapping into this area. I don't know why we're coming back here. This typically doesn't happen. We've already bounced off of here. Right, you've already bounced off of here. Why are we coming back to that area? Maybe if the 5 is holding, that's the only reason. Right, but if the 5 is holding, then is it better to close out and wait on the 30? We'll see. Should I get in? No, I mean, if we re-break the high on this 30, it wouldn't even make sense, right? To be in here. The whole point is the 30 flips it drives. If it re-breaks its own high, it's coming up, right? Look at that flip. Like, I'll probably close out at minus, what is it, 13 pips or whatever it's going to be. Yeah. If it re-breaks its own high, that's just stupid. Because at that point, right, the 30's made the low. It's held support. I've not had a no drawdown trade. Yeah, once it breaks the high. Around with it. Yeah, I'm gonna close out right here, chat. Minus 16. No, minus 17. So it's the 30's re-breaking its own high. It just shouldn't do that. It should come straight down. I can hold it and look for pineapples at 2304, but it doesn't make sense here. It shouldn't be re-breaking its own high. Oh, well, now it's coming down. This high should not break. Once it came up and made that high, if it's to drive, it should drive, right? There's no reason for now it to create a support and start coming back up and re-break that high. I know you guys see it. They're like, oh, now it's going to drive and come down. No, but why would then it come back? Why didn't it drive the first time, but now it's going to drive? For what? For grabbing an extra less than 1/10 of a pip? No. No, that's not why it's doing that. And if it's going to drive, it's not going to be because now this candle has come up. It just makes no fucking sense. Yeah, I would expect this to come up now and come up higher. There's no trade here because it's kind of a 50-50. Yeah, now the 30's above this area. 2 minutes to go. 30 closes above here. I can confidently tell you there's going to be no trade till the 4-hour close. Let's see how we close out the month. I've started the month off, gang, minus minus 170 pips for the month. Are those prison curtains? Why does everybody keep asking? Fuck, how do you even get curtains in prison? Are they bars? No, they're fucking shades. See that shit? They turn and shit. I know, it's high tech. This is what they got in the 21st century, yo. Welcome. How are you, Missy? I've taken a L on 5 straight days. How am I? I'm fucking peachy. Yeah, we looked at the numbers. I've pulled up. This is my worst streak since October 2020. Weird week. Say maybe I gotta be more wary of the market cycles, but it gets worse before. At least you're still peachy. Yeah. Yeah, imagine it being part of the Signal gang this week, starting signals this week. That'd be tough. What have you learned done wrong this week? I'd say what we just closed, that happened last week to us on the 4-hour, and the 4-hour shot straight up. And that's why I just closed the position. Because there's no need for us to re-break the high of that candle. That would have saved us about 120 pips last week. You are my mentor. We went over this before. It's not about being a mentor. It's about just like, right? I can show you everything in the world. It's up to you to actually execute, right? I can put the food in front of you, but I can't make you eat it. You gotta eat the food. You gotta chew it. So, it's more of a guide. We kind of guide you in the right direction. It shouldn't be like gurus or mentors, or just kind of guides, right? That guide you in the right direction. A mentor is someone there who was there all the way through your execution to sit there and say, that's right, you've executed perfectly here. This is how we're going to keep doing it. It's going to be with you through the hard times, the simple times, just by your side. You guys don't have that. You guys have yourselves and what you choose to incorporate in your own trading. So you kind of have, you kind of have guides, right? These little arrows that point you in different directions. It's up to you what road you take. This 2 months was very tough for me. When I come to your stream, I feel it's gonna be all right. It's gonna be all right. What's the worst that can happen? You're getting better every day. You're always getting. I'm always getting better. Right? I've had enough, my share of success and failures here, but I'm always getting better. See, that's the reason we closed that rebreak at a high. Let's see if we can get some closures above this area. Did you work out today? No, I wasn't even sure if I was gonna stream today. I've been dealing with some, well, not my personal health problems, but dealing with somebody with family. So I wasn't sure if I was gonna be here today, but then midday today, freed up and realized I was gonna be here. Feel down? No, be up. Feel up. Feel up. See if this is a more logical level here. This makes more sense. Right there. It's 30 pips of range here. Yeah, we're most likely going to be waiting on this 4 hour. It's going to be interesting. Might get a 4 hour lick candle. You know what, chat? I need to feel better. I have one of these. You guys fuck with this? My kids got this for me. They said, "Here, Dad, you're gonna feel better after this." So, I'm gonna try not to enjoy this too much. I'm gonna eat half of it. Nah, fuck that shit. I'm gonna eat the whole thing. Alright. That's good. Damn. That's that type 2 right there. Oh yeah. That's that. That's that. 2 cavities with a side of diabetes right there. Damn, that's fucking sweet. Wow. That's really sweet. Yeah, I can't eat that. That shit makes your teeth hurt. So this is what Mounds was supposed to be like, but they fucked up. This is what Almond Joy was supposed to taste like, but it doesn't. This is what they were trying to do, but couldn't. Damn, that candy should be illegal. Kids should not be eating that shit. Really, Daily? That's the bottom wick, Daily? That was a 15 closure right there. At resistance. We'll see. You know what the homie blessed me with yesterday? Oh, bless me, drove by. These are really good. You guys smoked these before? It says collectible cannabis. He know damn well I'm not collecting this shit. This shit's gonna get smoked. For now, I'm getting smoked. Yes. We got 10 minutes here, chat. 15 minutes. Alright, so hang out for 10 minutes. I'm chilling, I'm right here. I'm just fucking annoyed. My fucking pool is pitch black. Ow, that fucking hurt. Stubbed my toe, chat. This little level here, I mean, you could read it like this or like this, right? I think this higher one is better. It's clearer. Right, so we close above the most recent. We have 30 pips to come up here. If in 10 minutes we can close above, yeah, this most recent level, 2304. .2. Just think we need to make a steeper bottom wick on a daily. So I'm gonna look for positions above 2307. If we can get closures above 2307, I'll look for positions above there. Until then, I think we might reject and come back down. We should. We don't, but we'll have them. We'll get positions above 2307. Because for us to get buys, we're gonna need a range 2 breakout here, and you got range 1, and you have another resistance up here, which makes this range 1. This makes this range 2. Anything above here is likelier to come up, while anything below here is likelier to come down. And while you're in this area, you are likelier, based on previous performance, right? Based on our previous data, you're likelier to get this, right? And come back in range. At which point, then we'll just look for a top wick and get the initial trade that we wanted. And it might fall in line with the fact that the 4-hour might close as a like candle here. You see this? But it's still closing bullish. It did grab a bottom wick, so we can't just say, all right, we're coming down, because a lot of these things are actually going against us, right? So you're going to need a strong bearish closure on a 15 or a 30 to confirm you're coming down, or you're going to need to get these closures above 2307 to confirm a range 2 breakout, at which point you are likelier to come up than to head down. Capiche? And the reason I moved this level up is just above 2307, everything comes up. You don't reject, right? Like, you got a closure above here, you filled the range up. You got a closure above here, you filled the range up, right? You held this area, filled the range up, held the area, filled the range up. And where do you fill it to? At the very least, this area, right? So you have about 60 to 70 pips of an advantage once you get that closure above. Problem is the daily didn't bounce off anything. That's why I'm expecting, well, it did kind of this area here. Maybe you can say that. Kind of held this support here. But with that closure, I mean, you don't expect to drive straight up. You expect to come down to the next, you know, stronger time from support. Maybe you can say this on the daily like this. I don't think that's how the support should look. I think we'll make a top wick and still end up re-breaking the daily lows. Five minutes here till the 4-hour. Stay calm, everybody. Don't panic. Nah, fuck that. Lose your shit, everybody. Panic time. Be calm. Chat, one thing I can say is that I haven't deviated from the plan in maybe 4 years, 3 to 4 years. And you know what? Like, the same way seeing greens or seeing blues in your terminal builds confidence, seeing reds in your terminal is, you know, it plays on your confidence, it plays on your emotions. But the only thing at that point, right, to keep your emotions out of it is stick to the plan. So no matter how I feel, or like, you know, how, not even how, but what kind of emotions the market drives out of me, it's not gonna take away from the plan. That's where the confidence comes in from. It's like, yeah, taken losses, but I've taken losses before and always come back just because we've stuck to the plan. So have some confidence. We'll be fine. If 30 closes above 23.04, can we look for a weak entry to go up? No. You can't. Because the wick doesn't mean that you're heading up. It means you could be coming back down in range. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a wick. Unless you tap 2307 and then start coming back in range. Yeah, it can definitely be demoralizing, right? You're taking on losses. But just, the key is to building a track record, right? The key is to having a proof of concept that it's been done. That means it can be done over and over and over. Watching Panthers Oilers game? Yeah, I am. 90 seconds left in the first. So you are closing above the most recent. I wouldn't mind a steep bottom wick and look for some buys. Also wouldn't mind coming back down in range. The thing is, this is the new 4 hour, and the 4 hours closing bullish above the range. It's got a top wick, right? So some bottom wicks and we can look for a buy. Expecting a bottom wick. 4 hour gave you a bottom wick. We closed above. Okay, I'm gonna have a buy stop on the break of the high if I can get it there. Make sure you're accounting for spread. I think we got 30 pips to the top of the range. Made a bottom wick. Oh, whoops. I'm already in here, chat, right here on the break of the high. I was gonna put a buy stop, but as soon as I put a buy stop, it rebroke the high and entered it, and the second one I just entered manually. So I'm gonna look to break that high. and create a top wick on the 4-hour, whether it's a drive or a top wick to at least 2307. Stops will be here. It's not a leg candle. We have range on the 4-hour. I'm going to expect 2307 as our advantage point, and hold on, and I'll expect the top of the range as a possible runner if it really starts moving. Okay, so we made a bottom wick, we rejected off the most recent, and we broke the highs, and that's my entry. And if it starts coming down to the bottom of the range, then obviously it's going to be a long trade, but it's my stops, I think, going to be a rebreak of the lows. They could be steeper, but it's going to depend on how the trade goes. I think we're going to need to tap 2307 in the shape of a top wick in order to start breaking those lows. My entry is 2305.28. So exactly as it shows here, 2728. Don't over-risk and cry later. I haven't over-risked in a long time. But think about it. Look, if you are going to, with this rejection off of here, if you're going to come down, it's not going to just, right? After the last 2 4-hour candles driving up, it's not just like this. The market needs to grab orders. It's not just like this. Market needs to grab orders, right? It needs to break the previous candle high. It needs to reject off a resistance. So even if it is to come down, it'll break these highs to eventually drive down. Whether it's in the shape of a top wick on the next candle or a flip here, we'll see. But that's what it needs to do. That's how the market typically works. Don't lose 2 in a row. I've lost 2 in one stream. I've lost on 5 straight days. Not 5 in a row, but I've lost on 5 straight days. I have wins in between also, but I've lost on 5 straight days. I haven't seen that. Like I said, we went into the we had to open up the books for that, and last time that happened was, I told you, October 2020. I thought it was 2021. It wasn't. It's October 2020 was the last time I was on a streak like that. So it's yeah, it's been a roller coaster for the last 2 weeks. Don't overtrade again. That's emotional trading. I haven't overtraded. I haven't over-risked, and I've stuck to the plan. And I show up every day, just do what I've been doing for years. Same thing over and over and over and over. No deviation, nothing. Bounce back, we always do. Data's data. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of how I've been approaching it, right? It's just data's your best friend. The key is just to come to conclusions based on data, not come to conclusions based on emotion. That's kind of been the mantra. The BE should be the 30 wick fill. No, I mean, the BE should technically be 2306.3 here. That's where the range is going to. Oh, 6.3 I think is where your advantage point lies. You know, I have some ideas. Start short, any trade last hour, you troll hard. Did we break? Did we break the previous? We did break the previous 4. No resistance, right? You haven't tapped that higher time frame resistance. At the very least, 2306.3. Get one more pop. 06.3 is where I'm looking to go break even, because that's the nearest resistance. We haven't tapped anything. I don't mean, we can hold here, but the level's up here. Five just closed here, bullish above the most recent. Alright. Alright. I'm gonna close half here at 10. I'm gonna go break even. Not because it's 10, it's just the advantage point, right? 0.63, that's the advantage point. We said 06.3. And the rest I'm gonna leave for a runner. Make sure you're BE here. And let's see if it could come up above the range here. Remember, it's likely it rejects, but I think we need to at least tap this area now for runner. Maybe 2308, right? If it can blow through that area, you can manage a little more risk, close up another quarter. But I'd expect it to come up and actually fill this range before any kind of rejection. At the very least, you guys should be break even. Back into the one column. Oh my god. Can we fucking re-break the highs? The fuck? House money now. Yeah, at this point it's house money, and like it depends on you how much you want to secure. Personally, like if we get to 23, this area right here, you see when we have a drive, this is what I'm going based off of. Historical price data. So I'm looking where we're coming from. We're coming from this area. And I'm looking and saying to myself, last time we came from this area, we topped out here. If that's where we topped out, this is where I'm going to look to secure more or even full. That's why I said roughly 2308 area. Because I believe once you have this drive and we're already part of it, it just may, we don't have the best entry right now, but once we're up here, we have a pretty decent entry. So right now there's a chance it comes back, but once, if it doesn't, and on the off chance that it does pop up here without taking us out, then we're, you know, we're in good hands. Closed full. Yeah, I think if we get to 2308, I'm gonna close full. I think if Javier's in this, he's not closing full till the shit hits fucking 2320. Javier will leave a runner, and he'll make sure there's enough there, then he can have a runner for his runner for his runner. You smacked 100 pips yesterday? You did. I can see it. I can see the reflection telling me yes in your forehead. It's like a little magic 8-ball. Yo, so you guys want to? We should do a little bets on the euro. Oh, Bougie had an earlier entry. How come you guys always have an earlier entry and never tell me? I tell you when I enter. That's not fair. The clubhouse has been, if I look at the clubhouse, they've been celebrating for the last 40 minutes. They all ate. I don't know how this works. How come I'm always left out? You know, I started my own group because I didn't want to be left out, and now my own group leaves me out all the time. Yo, what are we doing? Are we seeing a rejection here? Yeah, I think we might come back to break-even ski here. Because we more or less tapped the advantage point here, right? So it's either gonna see a little bit of play here with this wick as we've kind of bounced off of it, and it's gonna drive up, or it's gonna reject and come back in range, and you might look for a fake out to come down.
How you doing, bro?
I'm surviving.
That's all we can do.
No, we should be living.
True.
Oh, you said we can look for a wick entry. You did say that. And I said I can't. Because at this point, right, this is where you would look for a wick entry. But at that point, are you coming back down in range for a fake out? Because you could have closed like this and the next candle top wick. straight down. You know what I mean? Oh, can this song give us some volume again? Let's bring it back to 2023. I was thinking of closing right where the song ended, right? But I'm gonna try to see if we can get up to here.
2308.50.
2308.50. That's what you have.
Yeah, I think right around there might stop.
Yeah, 2308. 2308 flat. That's what I want to see. I think I'm gonna move my TP there, just in case it taps it. Should be 26 pips. Closed as the song ended, but you executed. Yeah, I was thinking of closing at the song ended, but my original idea was this level. I'm with Javier on this one. Oh, where are you guys? Yeah, I moved my TP here. This is what it looks like. Flat. Can we get there? Can we get to 2308? What's the score? Has anybody scored yet? And if you guys don't understand why 2308, we went over this earlier, is because last time we had that drive, this is where it topped out, roughly 2308 areas. It actually topped out at 2308.8. But the bodies of the candles, 2308 here, roughly the level. So that's what I'm looking to tap.
Yeah, and I use home numbers as my levels.
Remember, you don't have to hold. You can close out here. You can close out full, right? I've closed half of my position.
Yeah, I've been closed. Full. I have no runners.
Nice. Good job. Because this is a resistance, right? It's a strong resistance. But I think the drive overall can tap that area before rejecting. So we'll see. It looks like it's rejecting now. Just play here now. So if anyone close full, maybe it was a good idea. Should have already closed. We closed partials. It's okay. At this point, it's house money. Right. Oh, Florida did score. Florida's up 1-0.
You have any flooding up by you?
Yeah, my whole neighborhood's flooded. My yard, everything. My neighbor's yard. My neighbor, he's got a 3 Series Beamer, and you couldn't see the door handles. That's how high it was. Like, you could only see the windows.
Yeah, the FPL put new transformers on the ground. They lifted them up and put cement to make them higher, and the rain already flooded them. They gotta come back. Our whole warehouse has no power.
That's crazy.
Brand new transformers. They were there for like 3 weeks. Lifting them up for the water, and it flooded anyways.
We're getting close. We're getting close. Will we hit RBE? Will this runner hit B?
Oh no, bro, I don't stop working. Even if I have no power, we keep working.
Yeah, gang. We're probably gonna hit B on the runner. Yep, there it goes. So the runner hit B. Runner hit B, but that closed, right? That 5 closed, no bottom wick. Are we getting that fake out we spoke about before? Possibility, you'd have to start closing below 2304. I think if you'd want to see any sells though, we'd want to see closures below here. Point, right? You've still made higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. You're still coming up here. Candles are making higher highs, higher lows. So yeah, you bounced off a resistance here, but you're still coming. The momentum is in itself bullish. Breaking this low here and closing below there breaks structure, right? And once that structure is broken, as long as you're not re-breaking highs again and creating lower lows, then you're good to head down. But first, you would need to see that closure back in range below 2301. Because until then, right, you're just making a higher low right now. And from here, you can head straight up again. Music too loud? You heard me. You heard what I said, right? I don't have to repeat myself.
Loud and clear.
Bitch, I said what I said. I'd rather eat bounty instead. Fake out of the century. We're alive, boys. What? Still holding the first position, aren't you? Full-time trader? Yep. Part-time yapper. Yep, yep. Hooray! So we understood our advantage point, we used it to our advantage, now we're out of the trade, and the market might come back down or retest that low. Remember we were talking about creating a steeper bottom wick on the daily. That's probably not enough for it to drive up. There's a chance that happens.
Damn, ready?
Look at this also. Right? This area comes up to here. Back down to here. 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 Boom. And then up. So maybe it's gonna tap this area again and then up. Just like it did here. And then you come up for the ride. So that's still a possibility. So now pay attention. If now you see a support formed here, and let's say by the end of the 4-hour candle pre-London, once that support is established and you start doing something like this, you can now look back and say, all right, last time all of this, you know, all these price points were tapped. Right here, right here, right here, right here. Price filled this range. So once you start getting these closures here, you can be pretty confident that now, all right, this is the time to start filling that range. Because it's happened before, and when it happened before, it happened exactly like that. Right? Okay, so now you have a 30 with no bottom wick. This is interesting. Can you print either a bullish candle and then the next candle bounces off of here, right? Like that? Or can you come down now and then come back up? But this is what you're looking for now. For any more buys, now this is what you want, because you've come back in this range and now you can just do whatever, right? The market's kind of unpredictable within here. So your next order of business is to recognize the volume that's driving you out of here. And now that you've tapped here, the strong points of this range, and you've tapped this area, right? If you continue driving down below here, you're heading down to here. If you end up respecting this area and bounce back up above here, you're going to fill this range all the way up, and it's going to be a lovely ride. You better strap in, right? Put your seatbelts on, because it's going to go up. So pay attention to this. Could happen during London if it happens for us in New York after actually coming down here, tapping this area, and then coming back up, closing above here. We're gonna spend the rest of our day on Friday tomorrow coming up and filling this clean range. Right? So that's what New York will look like in the morning. Thankful I closed 30, no bottom work. Yeah, I mean, boom. Utilizing the knowledge picked up here to your advantage. That's called helping yourself. Showed up, help yourself. Now, don't forget, that doesn't mean it's going to go up. You have a nice level here. It could be a top wick, continue down. The hourly is what's key. And the reason I say it should still come down, we haven't tapped this support to drive off of. Like, we don't have this yet. We don't have this. Still waiting on that bounce from here to continue up. But it might not show up. You might not get that bounce, right? You might close below here. You might close below here and then come down, but you might close below, come down, and then get that bounce, right? To do this. So we wait. I don't know why. Who the fuck buys these? Who the fuck makes these? This is like 2.5 sips. Like, what's the dosage here? What's one dose? It's half a sip. Love you too. You going to bed?
So I prefer those little water bottles because I drink the big ones and I'll drink like half of it and then leave the other half and it gets hot. So then I don't drink
Yeah,
half
but
the
then you
other
make
water
tea.
bottle.
What do you mean?
True.
Drop a Lipton tea bag in there.
So then if I just get those little ones that are ice cold and I just chug a whole one, chug it, throw it away, and then I don't have to leave a half empty hot water bottle lying around.
Nah, I just chug the whole bottle typically. Water's good for you. But like,
Yeah, I gotta drink more water.
I don't know. Yo, I don't know why syphilis be making these, but
Wait, what?
Zephyr Hills. So I call them syphilis. I don't know.
Oh, I was like, yo, what?
Because the way it's like it looks, like look at it. The spelling looks like from far away. It's like Zephyr syphilis.
Zephyr Hills is wild. They bottle that water not even a quarter mile from Guinea Springs, where everybody pisses and shits in the water and parties and drinks.
Zephyr syphilis.
If you look at the back, it'll say bottled in Guinea Springs, Florida.
Nah, that's not what it says.
Wait, what region?
It says Crystal Springs, Pasco County. Cypress
Oh, that
Spring,
one's
Washington County. White Springs, Liberty County.
That one's different. There's a Zephyr Hills plant right next to Guinea Springs where we go party all the time.
Yeah.
You ever been to Guinea Springs?
No.
The springs, like probably 4 hours up from you. Ice blue, clear water. You can go camp there or stay at the little hotel down the street.
Yeah, but what's there to do? Like you go to
it's
Tampa,
like
there's
a
strip clubs everywhere. What are you doing in Palm
y-
Springs?
yeah, no, it's like Miami Beach where everybody goes and parties, people bring their speakers and everybody gets their floaties and goes in the water and there's just like a million people in the water with their
Oh,
floaties and
yeah.
party. It's pretty cool.
It's get drunk and start a brawl type of atmosphere. Perfect.
N No, because it's like a campground, so there's a lot of rules and shit, but it's
Oh,
pretty
get
fun.
drunk, start a brawl, spend a night in jail type of shit. All right.
People bring
Awesome.
like their RVs and they'll have like a concert stage on the RV and they'll start playing concerts. It's wild. It's cool.
You know what? Ever since Breaking Bad came out, I can't look at an RV the same. Every single RV I figure is like has a meth cook in it. Like they're driving down the road and I know there's a fucking Mr. White in there. Just in his tidy
Not
whities just cooking shit up.
in Florida, there are efficiencies now, bro. People are buying them, putting them in their yard and renting them out.
Yeah, yeah. No, I know a dude that lives in one in his yard because he Airbnbs his house. And all he did was he just put an RV in his backyard and he lives in the RV and rents out the
We we might know
crib.
the same exact dude. The guy rents his house out, but he lives in the really nice RV in the back and just travels and parks it in and out whenever he wants.
I'm talking about a guy here in Jupiter.
He's an older guy.
Yeah, typically they are. Just the guy I'm talking about is in Jupiter. He's a little bit north of you.
Yeah, I serviced that entire area. I was just there today.
Nice. Nice.
That's crazy. It might be the same exact dude. He has like a brown RV.
Hmm. Jupiter and you don't golf? No. Why? Tiger Woods lives there, right? In Jupiter. But I don't live in Jupiter, right? I live pretty far from Jupiter. Like a few 100 million miles. Many pros live there, yes.
Tiger Woods used to live in Jupiter, but then he got divorced and now his wife and kids live in the house. He doesn't live there no more.
Damn. Tiger
20,
Woods, y'all.
I used to service his air conditioner.
Don't get Tiger Woods. Yeah. I have to move out your house. He's doing all right though. He doesn't care. Give or take a few 100 million. He doesn't care. He literally sucks now, and he's still getting paid.
He bought that house pre-COVID
We
for
scored.
like 17 million or some crazy shit like that.
There's a house down the block from me for 17 mil, and I didn't know how much it costs. And I used to like always pass by and be like, "That's my crib right there." And then the other day, it's so funny. I saw somebody bought it for 17 mil. I'm like, "Oh shit!" So that's what my dream crib costs. 17 mil. I'm gonna need to raise the lots here.
A measly 100 grand a month in mortgage.
It's easily like a quarter mil in mortgage maintenance and like because the property's massive, right? You gotta do maintenance everywhere. There's upkeep. There's the trees and the plants on that fucking thing is crazy. The fountain is crazy.
Well, we charged Tiger Woods 13,000 a year to do quarterly maintenance without his filters.
Hold on, 13,000 a year for quarterly maintenance? How does that work?
Yeah. So we're there every 3 months to change his filters and clean out the drains. Because they're rich, they're not going to be changing out filters on all their units. So you have to be there changing them every 3 months.
Yeah, landscaping is
So a
fucking a
filter
massive
lasts 3
cost.
months.
When you have that many air conditioners and overlapping zones, yeah, they do last that long. Not for
Huh.
like a single home. And they're never there. You have 28 air conditioners in that house, and they have like 4 kids and a wife. They don't use any of those spaces. So just in air conditioning, he was
So you
spending
need
a rack
4
a month.
kids. Huh. I need 4 kids to have one of those.
When him and his wife got divorced, that she caught him cheating and she threw a golf club at his Cadillac. I was looking at that Cadillac every day. It's crazy seeing the news story and then looking at the Cadillac. I never saw him though, or his wife.
Fucking Tiger Woods. What's he worth? He's worth like $1 billion from all the commercials. Just the brand deals alone. It's worth massive money.
From retiring the best and then coming back and then being the best again, that is wild.
That's the thing about trading. Never have to retire. What do you want to do, Gold? What do you want to do? 'Cause we might range here for a little bit. Wow, New York session should be so lovely. Just look at the ranges up and down that we've created, and we've already moved in Asian session, right? We filled this initial range, these 60 pips. It's gonna start
So the
moving
last
more and more for
30-minute
London.
candles.
For London, it'll move. It'll grab steeper levels. New York's just gonna drive. Oh man.
The last 30-minute candles don't have bottom wicks.
Yeah. You have a lit candle. Previous 30.
And look at all those other 30s with no bottom wicks.
Just want to, like, if this closes bullish, you still want a bottom wick. You still want to come down to 2301. Like, this is a possibility.
Yeah.
So you might see price come down off the opening of the next hourly. Right? Because the hourly right now, for now, is closing bearish. So you might come down initially. And then once you tap this area, you bounce off bullish. It'll make sense too if the hourly can close above this area. But that's just not the trade I would take. I would wait for this actually to happen and then to actually get that closure up above here. Because once you get this, you're really looking for a similar play to what happened here before, right? So a bottom wick to roughly this area in a drive. So it could happen here as a celery play, right? You might get a bearish closure, but respecting this area, which would actually be good because it creates a resistance above your resistance, right? So if it does this, you've now created a resistance above here, and it's very clean from here. But now if you break this high, right, you established a resistance, bounced off a support, and now break that resistance, you're heading up. You're heading all the way up. So if this happens, you're just looking to tap this area. So if the bearish candle taps it with a bottom wick, you don't really need a steep bottom wick here. You don't really need one at all as long as you close. You can just enter on the break of the highs. But if you do get a bottom wick, then you can use that to your advantage, saying, all right, we held support and we're getting a bottom wick. Once we flip, we should be good to head up with momentum. With that closure, we have volume, right? As long as this area was tapped with a bottom wick on this candle or on this candle, once you get that bullish flip and you're holding this as a support, you're going to once again head all the way up. Capiche? But these things must print. So a lot of times for New York, it's the second part of the daily candle. A lot of these levels have already been tapped, so it's easier to tell where the daily's going. And you have, right, you have more catalysts. So there's just New York sets up for a nicer trading environment. More trader friendly. Boom, we scored again, 3-1. Boom, Florida's about to go up, 3-zip. Yeah. They're showing the Edmonton Stadium. People are like, well, what are we gonna do now? This is like the only fun thing we have in Edmonton. They're like, what are we gonna go do now? Fucking. Well, going back to sleeping with my horse. Not like that, chat. I mean, like in a barn and shit. You guys are fucking weird. Edmonton. Word, like, Florida's about to steal all the fun out of Edmonton by winning the Stanley Cup. And people in Edmonton are gonna have to, like, go have fun on the oil rigs again. Imagine they get tight. They're like, fuck this. We're not sending any oil to Florida. No oil for you. Dirty boy. This is an ugly candle. This hourly. Do you not see a possible retracement this summer, or am I dumb? I mean, if I don't see a retracement, does that necessarily mean you're dumb? But I don't know. But let's look at the monthly candle. The monthly's created a steep ass wick. Closed below the range. If you break the lows, it looks like you're going to come down. But you can't take just the monthly into account, right? Because even though the monthly closed below, this is still a range. Right here, this wick. And that range has a resistance and it has a support. That means you can still bounce off a support even though it's on a lower time frame or in a different time frame. Oh, you're talking about monthly. I'm looking at the weekly. But yeah, still, same thing. I don't know. It's tough to analyze the monthly. Because we can go all the way back to the creation of gold here. Like, you know what I mean? We can go back to, like, look. Fucking, look at this shit. That's Jesus' birthday right there. We're fucking back to Jesus' birthday, beginning of time, chat. Like, let's just stick to what we know.
What
where we
was
are.
that? 1979?
I don't know, bro. That was. If I go on the monthly, I can go back 1833.
Holy smokes!
Yeah, I don't know. You guys fucking missed the move here. I don't know how come you guys didn't get in here at like 1 penny. How did you miss this? This is clear as day here. This is fucking obvious it's going up.
Bro, was the stock market even open at 1833? Wait,
Nah, it was
something's not.
just fucking two dudes and a gold tooth. So I give you a penny for this motherfucker. That's what it was. You guys missed out. Suckers. Wish you would have been alive? No, yo ass would have had fucking wooden teeth. You think George Washington had fun? He was the president of the free world, of the formation of the United States. You
And
think he had fun? No, that boy had wooden teeth. He could not chew a chicken wing if he wanted to.
the stock market was created in 1792. That's crazy. I think.
can't. They've been robbing and stealing from people for mad long.
Javier's probably holding a runner from since then.
Bro, I'm not that old.
Javier's like, yeah, I think I'm gonna close out this position I opened at $42.
Yo, can you imagine like your great grandfather gave you some like stock market slips of gold at $5?
I can only imagine. Some people actually lived it.
So if you're positive on a position in Forex, do your swaps, are they negatives? Do they cost you money?
So
I
some days you get paid out.
I got hit with swaps yesterday.
So if you're swinging a position long term and you just kept getting hit with swaps, if it's like a smaller position, would it end up eventually being
No,
zero?
If
no,
you're in
no.
a
It
if you're in a
actually,
sell, you're making money. If you're in a buy, you're losing money. So,
Because
right,
if you
like
swing like a
I
point
make
one,
I make between 6 and 12 pips on a sell, right?
like let's say you
So,
swing a point one,
let's say yesterday market was closing or today market was closing at 4:55. I opened the sell and I closed it at 6:05 or like 4:59 I opened a sell and I closed it at 6:01. I made 6 pips. But you're taking the risk of the market gapping. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Because
Wednesdays
if
for
it
gold
gaps,
is
it'll
the
gap
only
past
day.
your stops and you're stuck with wherever the market is.
Yeah, Wednesday is the only day with triple swap fees. So if you're in longs, you gotta pay $100 for every lot,
hmm.
and if you're in sells, you get paid $28 for every lot. And every other day of the week, it's only like 20, I think like $28.
Ah,
So you
shit.
lose
Just when
10
you want.
lots every, let's say you swing for a month, you lose 10 lots every Wednesday and basically
If
$100 every Wednesday of your
Chat,
position.
make sure you
if
tune in on
you're
Sundays.
swinging a lot,
We're gonna be going over the new Wednesday swap strategy. How to make simple pips on Wednesdays without knowing how to trade. Strategy will be out on Sunday.
People do that. I saw a video of a guy saying, "No, how to make money closing at break even, just holding positions for a long time." Now that you say that, it rings a bell.
If this shit flies up to 3,000 and he's holding sells from 1,000, he needs a lot of margin. It's already a thing called like the Iron Corridor. I never heard of that. Yeah, so what we wanted to see here was this. But we got this. Did not tap this area. But what did it hold? It's the rebreak of the 4-hour high. If we were above this area with closures, we would take this break on the 4-hour high. We're below, so I'm still a bit skeptical. But then, like, this is a high quality entry. Just New York session maybe. Here I'm a bit skeptical. Just be patient. Get that closure above there. What's the range here? Seven. Yeah, about 14 pips of range above there. Good sell position. I mean, depends on what you're looking at. What's your perspective? What are you looking to grab? What are your advantage points? What's your reasoning? What things do you have going in your direction that can support that reasoning? Do those things fully convince you beyond a reasonable doubt that according to the plan, it's correct? Where are you managing risk if you're taking a sell? Now, if you have a setup and it's based on a breakdown, great. Now that you have a setup based on your breakdown, do you have an entry based on closures or breaks of highs or lows? Do you have an entry that's based on something to support everything else that, you know, so that so far all these questions that should have been answered? Now, do you have that entry that supports all those responses? Anyone told you that you would do really well as a voiceover, sir? You have a proposition? Send over the contract. Let's talk business. Let's talk business. Share signals if you want to purchase. If you want to purchase the signals, the links in the bio and in the description. There should be links everywhere, and then the links in the Discord, or you could just exclamation point signal, and it should pop up. Nightbot will give it to you. No, the last 4 months, incredible. We went on a streak like that, and then we went 5 straight days with a loss. But yeah, we had 3 months with no losses. We won 31 straight trades. Yeah, from March to June. Nightbot forgot the signal link. No, signals, not signal. There you go. Yeah, you forgot. Nah, you forgot the S. You type in signal, Nightbot over here looking for a fucking blinker. Did I turn left, right? What are we doing? Alright, the hourly just closed. Closed below, but closed bullish. Closed respecting resistance. Ooh, and there's a level that runs across here. You see that? That we're below. Which tells me we might still see 2301. But regardless if we do or not, your positions to come up here, your queue to look for positions to come up is above 2307.2.19. Interesting here because you closed like a doji candle on the 5 here, right? You might fill the range What do you tap? You might tap 2305 and then fill the range up. But just because you fill the range up doesn't mean you're going to break 2307. You need closures above there. And this flip doesn't mean you're going to fill the range up because you've already, right? If this wick isn't here, if it's a smaller wick, right? If it's like up to here, like this. Like if it's like this, then you can look to take a flip, fill the range with momentum, but this wick's already pretty much rejected off the top here, close. So you don't know if you're going to fill the range up or if this is a rejection to continue down with the bearish momentum. And the reason it's a little bit of a 50-50 in that area is because timing and closures. Like you did close below after tapping that area. Yeah, with momentum and being above the most recent, you should come up here. But because of when you are in the markets, 10 p.m. Eastern, right? This is typically not the time when the market does, you know, does something like this. This typically isn't the time. Time for that is typically either 8 p.m., 9 p.m., or sometime between 8 and 10 a.m. Eastern in the morning in the New York session for these kinds of moves. So they do happen, right? But it's not something you'd expect. So if you're printing and you're respecting resistance, you're probably going to come back down in range for a little bit, right? And this move will set up the same exact way just later, right? So you might see a closure above here. You might see this, but chances of it actually driving, filling the range up are a lot less than if this was to happen, right? And you come back down here, do all this, and then start coming back up, and now you've already tapped this area and then start closing back above, and now you have the same closure, same thing happening, but now it'll be 1 or 2 a.m., which means pre-London. London's opening up, volume, a lot of volumes coming into the market. Boom, you have that in your arsenal, right? You understand now volume's coming in, unlike here, no volume. So yeah, you did close the right way, but not at the right time, right? So now you have volume coming in, London opening. Now you've also come back in range and grabbed that support that we were talking about, right? Right here, that we wanted to mirror. So if all this happens and then by London, now you're back up above here, that closure, you shouldn't even wait for a bottom wick, off the rip. Boom, you're coming up. If this happens and you get that closure and it's the next 4-hour candle, not this current one, and it's London time and you've tapped this support and you're closing up above here, off the rip. Off the rip to 23.13, 23.14. Okay? But you need all these things to play out. If it happens now, great, it happens now. Wait for the market to actually print a resistance above here, right? So wait for that closure above. Wait for the market to actually attempt to come back down in range, right? Come back down, wait for it to fail, establish a support here, and wait for a break of this resistance that you've just made. And if it happens now, then great, you can take that. If it doesn't happen now, then you already know once you've tapped this and then come back up and close above here, that's your cue because it'll probably be the right time as well. Okay, closing the right way, not the right time. Yeah, I mean, volume is there at a certain time throughout the day typically, right? And you're not looking to place trades at 3 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m., right? The same way you're not looking to really be in positions at like midnight, right? Like that's not putting yourself in the best position to succeed, right? You want to put yourself in a position where good luck can find you, and luck will find you in those volume times, right? And that's not to say that it can't happen now, right? Look at me, I'm talking all this shit, and then next thing you know, an hour from now, we got this. I'm not telling you this can't happen. I'm telling you the probability of this happening is less likely than if this was 2 a.m. or if this was 8 a.m., right? Then the probability of this is much likelier, so it would make sense to look for that. Right now, even though it can happen, the probability is not as high, so it would make sense to say, all right, what time would that make sense? It would make sense during the next volume time. So then you count out how many hours we got till then, 3-4 hours. So you're probably looking at 3-4 hours of this before it actually gives you that and that. right? So I'm not telling you can't. I'm telling you probability-wise, that's typically how you want to approach things. Right? You want to be on the right side of probability. And that's where the plan comes in, right? Because if your plan dictates that something happens a certain amount of times over this amount of trade, right? These amount of trades, then you're just following that plan, and you know that within a certain amount of times it's going to work out this way, this percentage of the time. So just keep following that. Forget your emotions. Same thing here, right? Probability dictates closures now wouldn't drive as hard as they would middle of New York session or London session. Anyway, I think that's it for me. I'm gonna call it a session here, gang. Appreciate you guys coming through as always. The Clubhouse gang, you guys are awesome. Keep killing it. I saw. I didn't even realize you guys were doing anything yesterday. I was just too busy. But today, like actually, I only saw right before the stream that you guys destroyed the clubhouse yesterday. So that's pretty dope. I'm glad to see everyone is killing it. We're due for some mods. I'm gonna add some mods I think next week. Just I need the mods to remind me. I need the mods. There's a YouTube mods channel in the Discord. I want you guys to drop some names in there who you think should be the next mod. I'm thinking 2 or 3 mods for next week we're gonna add. Because there's been a whole bunch of people that have been here for a long time that deserve it. And I can definitely use some more mods to help out run the stream. Yeah, so that's what we're probably gonna do next week. Today's Thursday. This is our last session for the week. If you guys want to trade with us in the clubhouse on Sundays, make sure you either get the signals or join Wix's table, and that way you'll have access to the clubhouse, or you'll have access to the Sunday session. I'm sorry. Don't get the clubhouse. You won't get access to the Sunday session. Yeah, other than that, everybody else, I'll see you guys on Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Mods, thank you as always for coming through, helping me run the stream. Chat, love and wisdom to you all. Don't forget what we just spoke about. Pay attention to this. Don't just forget everything once the stream is over, right? Pay attention and use it to your advantage. A lot of times things that we discuss here, an hour from now, half hour from now, 40 minutes from now, it might end up playing out. So watch for these closures, watch for this attempt to come back down in range, establish this as a support, and then take your buys. Or wait for the market to come back down in range and wait till pre-London, all right? That's if you're still trading. Zoom gang, I'll see you guys in the clubhouse, and I'll see you guys also on Sunday. I'll try to be more active today and tomorrow. I think tomorrow morning should be a lot of fun, right? So if you're in the signals gang, make sure you're on tomorrow morning. But yeah, we're back on the right track. All right, let's get our outro music going, and chat. You already know it's for me. My time here today is... Where's Green? Was Green here? Green showed up today? Just checking. Did he? I don't know. I didn't see him
Wasn't
type
he,
anything. I didn't see him
wasn't he
type
going
anything.
to the, wasn't he going to a fight?
He's at a fight? Oh, I seen him at
No, well,
a
boxing
press
match,
conference.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
because
not here.
he hit me up, but I think I had something going on this, no, I have something going on this weekend. So I think he's back here in Vegas.
All right. Good shit. I didn't know that, but I seen him at the press conference, so yeah. Hope he's making some money. All right, gang. As for me, my time is up, and just like that, another Asian session is in the books. Good night, everybody.